here's an interesting story. The Brooklyn Nets, are going to sit 6 players, their top players, against the Bulls, and Chicago can make the playoffs with a victory. I'm not sure what they're resting for. I believe they're resting to watch the playoffs, but that could change the playoff picture, and Chicago then would be in, and it screws the Miami Heat. The Nets have been dormant all year. Now they're resting 6 starters. But, you know, why it's bad for business is Pat Riley and Mickey Arison and Miami have been great partners with you for decades in the NBA. Miami's a terrific city. It's a free agent destination. Mickey Arison's a terrific owner. Pat Riley is the Nick Saban recruiter of the league, and you're hosing him potentially out of 2 or 3 or 4 or more playoff games that cannot sit well. The Pacers also lose their insurance policy to get in by this Brooklyn move. I do believe this is the second big crisis for Adam Silver, the first being Donald Sterling. But remember, everybody was anti-Sterling. That was not a true crisis. Owners wanted him out. Players wanted him out. Adam wanted him out. The Lakers wanted him out. Everybody wanted him out. This is different. The coaches don't want you messing with their starting lineups. The players don't want you messing. The agents don't want you messing. And the owners hate it. Chris Broussard joining us as he did in the last segment of last hour. I think this, you can argue, is a bigger crisis. Donald Sterling did not hurt the TV ratings. These ratings, first of a 10-year deal with your broadcast partners, are the worst in a decade. Do you think it's as big a crisis as I do?
I do agree, and I think it's bigger than Sterling because, as you said, Sterling was obvious what he was going to do. It wasn't, only voice of dissent or even questioning it was Mark Cuban, who said it's a slippery slope, which was true.
Yeah.
But the sentiment was get Sterling out of there. He was wildly applauded everywhere for doing so. This, like you said, you've got people on both sides, of this argument. You've got to take care of your fans. You have to take care of your corporate sponsors. You have to take care of the networks and the owners. But the players and the coaches aren't backing up.
At all.
No, they are not backing up.
They're holding their ground, and their belief is, they say, based in science, which is our guys back-to-back are older players. They get hurt more.
Well, they're doing it with younger. Like, the Cavs are resting Kyrie. He's 24 years old. See, the Cavs bother me more than any other team because there doesn't seem to be the rhyme or reason or rationale behind what they're doing. Kyrie's 24. He's sitting out games. Well, if the science is saying Kyrie and LeBron should sit, why not Tristan Thompson? He played 447 straight games. The science doesn't think he needs a rest. So I think it's baffling the way they're doing it. But I would like to see them cut the season. I really would.
I still contend this is being engineered by somebody. I don't mean to go NBA Illuminati.
Well, yeah, Whitlock's with you on that.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock and I believe this is just not one of these, hey, dude, so random, new CBA and everybody's sitting. Like, this is being engineered by somebody very powerful. We know it's not Adam Silver.
You think players?
Well,
Illuminati music.
Owners think it's players.
I think the players, if you're like LeBron or whatever players you think are behind it, if I'm a player, I don't want my name attached to this. I don't want to be known as a player, particularly if I'm LeBron. I don't want to be known as the player. Maybe I'm wrong, but the one who cut the season.
So let's go to the
years ago, guys were playing 82 games. Sometimes they had 3 games in 3 nights. The travel, they flew commercial. They flew on the morning of games. I mean, and then now you're saying you can't handle it?
Well, he's the guy that we're talking about rest because of LeBron, right? And remember when someone asked him?
No, not because of LeBron. I don't like when Golden State rests.
He's a big name that's been resting this year that's causing the conversation. But remember when reporters asked him, do you think that this is being brought up because of you? And he pushed it off completely and was like, no, it's not me. Why would it just be me? It's exactly what you're saying, Chris. He doesn't want to
listen, I'm a LeBron fan, right? Yeah. Like I'd vote him MVP. I think he's been the MVP every year in the league after about his 3rd year. But who has the power in this league to make it happen? It ain't Tyronn Lue.
No, you're right.
I think LeBron has the ear of the players.
He's got the ear of the players and Adam Silver. And I don't mind if you're LeBron and you really want to see this happen and the players want it, then just do it behind the scenes. But if I'm him, I don't want my name attached to this.
Well, so far nobody's name is attached to it, but you can't, me and Whitlock agree on this. You cannot tell me when something happens suddenly. It's not like beach erosion. Like I grew up in a part of the country in Washington State where over the course of my lifetime, the beach is eroding.
Yep.
Okay, I see it coming. When stuff happens suddenly, you're like, oh, somebody's engineering it. Fake news, Facebook. Like fake news didn't happen over 42 years. It happened during the most polarizing political election. Let's go look at Facebook. Let's go look at the big dogs. This thing suddenly in the second half of the season became the overwhelming story. That means it's engineered by somebody powerful.
But remember, it started with Greg Popovich in San Antonio.
But for about 7 years, nobody duplicated it. Now, all of a sudden, by the way, John Wall, Bradley Beal, Morris out tonight.
And they've been out, Wall's been outspoken about not sitting.
So something's going on here.
Well, the performance doctors and trainers on the teams are saying they should.
Yeah, those guys have a lot of pull. Chris Broussard joining us. All right, so we disagree in the Western Conference. I think it's overstated.
And
you
MVP.
Think it's... we disagree totally on MVP.
You really... So why even have the award? So you're saying on November 1st we should have given the MVP award to LeBron. We knew he's the best player in the world.
No. If November 1st, if LeBron this year was having a bad year...
Not having a bad year.
He's having a career year in field goal percentage, assists, rebounds. He's down a little in points because, as we knew going into the season, he wanted to elevate Kyrie Irving.
How's that worked out? What about the team? The team, and I'll use my phrase that Nick Wright condemned, mocked. They are woefully underachieving.
Okay.
To an embarrassing level.
You do get they would be a number 1 seed had they not decided smartly, we're going to rest guys for the playoffs.
In the East, it doesn't matter.
You have
the
really...
East they are by far the most talented team in the East. You said yourself they have the number 1 and number 2 best players in the conference.
And they're old.
How are you the second seed?
This is what's amazing. 25 years from now, I am going to tell children in America. I'll be an old man like Vin Scully. And they'll say, Mr. Cowherd, do you remember when LeBron was great? And I'll say, children, I remember when LeBron was great. And you know it was so strange. I would have to defend LeBron every day on the show. And people that were respected like Chris Broussard would come on and beat up LeBron. And I would say, he's terrific. And the children would go, why did Chris Broussard do that? And I'd say, because he's clinically insane, apparently.
How am I beating up LeBron? All I'm saying is he's not the MVP this year. I'm saying he's the best player in the world. He may very well show in the playoffs and the finals that he's still the best player in the world, but it's a regular season award.
So, okay, I would understand your take if you're like, listen, doesn't mean much to me, but Westbrook's historic. So it's going to go Westbrook, LeBron. You got him a slice of pizza better than Isaiah Thomas.
No, I don't go there. Fourth. I got him fourth, though, because here's why. Westbrook, historic, all right? Harden, tremendous season, led his team to a shockingly high number of victories, okay? Kawhi Leonard, most of Kawhi's, now you got LaMarcus Aldridge, but then Gasol, Tony Parker, Ginobili, they're all old and far past their prime. Davis Bertans, Dwayne Dedmon, Patty Mills, these are key players on your team. Okay. Danny Green couldn't get off the bench when he played in Cleveland. Yeah, and Kawhi's led them to 60-something wins. And scout after scout after scout will tell you, even some of the ones you talk to, that he is by far the best two-way player in the league.
All right.
You haven't heard that?
LeBron averages more points, more rebounds, more assists.
He's a better offense. LeBron's not the defender he used to be.
I'll tell you something.
He's in his 14th year. That's no slight. I mean, at some point, there hasn't been a player in league history other than LeBron who's the best player in the world in their 14th year.
Except LeBron.
I agree. So he's still the best player.
So
but
you're
you still slip off a little.
You're acknowledging.
He's the best player in the world. I've said that I don't know how many times over the last month.
If I said to you, in this city.
But that doesn't mean you win MVP.
In this city, the best politician in this city, if I said there's a city, Venice, The best politician in this city, because you just said LeBron's the best player. That guy in Venice is the best politician. And me, media guy, says, well, he's the most valuable politician. Whoa, he's fourth.
Doesn't mean he had the best year. Like, you brought up the Eiffel Tower analogy on Monday to throw in my face.
It was really good.
No, but here's the thing. Nobody's saying Westbrook, because he's going to be the MVP this year, is better all time than LeBron. LeBron is classic. LeBron is, on Mount Rushmore as far as I'm concerned.
He is.
But this year, he has not had the best season. He has had the fourth best season.